Ready for revolution. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. Ready for revolution. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Please share with everyone. Big ups and happy birthday to my brother Jaheed, Mr. Chiquindo, Mr. Communicator, Jaheed Muhammad. Happy born day to you, brother. We're going to need to see some ID now. Now you can drink more than milk at night and eat more than cookies. Oh, may Allah reward your day and your years. Greetings. Good morning. Good morning. Ready for revolution. Wa alaikum salam. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, this stream has been inspired by the prestigious power call that is done every Monday through Saturday, 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, amongst the Wealth Builders Worldwide group, of which you'll see posts throughout social media, throughout my many platforms, that encourage you all to join on to the outgrowth of inspiration. I say the outgrowth of inspiration because the inspiration comes from those who have applied themselves and work in a certain way that allows them to share, to express their thanks, to give praise, to give honor and recognition, and to drop jewels, to drop those nuggets that allow us to continue through our days. And so it was inspired through the power call and coupled with an expression from my mentor and senior partner in Wealth Builders, brother Mr. Michael L. Dalco. So I'll share this. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, brother Jihad. Peace and blessings, brother Roscoe. Welcome. All right. Well, let me start this way. To title the stream, I will call it "Be a Legend." Be a legend. Master rejection. Be a legend and master rejection. I will always be a networker. I will always be grateful to the Creator for giving me this wonderful opportunity known as life, and the courage and the will to share it. I'll say that again. I will always be a networker. I will always be grateful to the Creator for giving me this wonderful opportunity known as life, and for giving me the courage and the will to share it. I want to focus on this process of rejection and why it serves as a stumbling stone, particularly for new networkers, for new soldiers, for new affiliates. For many, this is a new challenge. You come to anything. You come to the world of religion. You come to the world of opportunity. And in these worlds, you share your joy, your exuberance around the opportunity that's been given to you, and you feel everyone should embrace it because they know you. Hey, you know me, man. I wouldn't bring anything to you that would encourage harm or do harm for others. So to others. So look, I'm sharing this opportunity, and people may say, "Yeah, I hear you, man, but not for me." Others will say, "No, not at this time." Others will say, "I'm not interested." Others will say, "Man, get away from me with that crap." And this can develop and strengthen what is common, and what rises first. It'll move doubt to discouragement. It'll move doubt and exacerbate it into giving up. And we would never want you to give up, because you don't understand how close you are or how far you are into the threshold of a dawning of a new day. You're right at the door with rejection. Brother Hakeem, welcome, soldier. What do we need to understand about rejection in the world of networking, in the world of propagating, in the world of communicating? What we need to understand about the rejection is it's not personal. The rejection is not personal. And as long as you understand that, you can remain on the road. Let me give you an example. I worked in hospitality, right? Been in hospitality a couple of decades. And in hospitality, in food and beverage, we have restaurants, we have cafes, we have events, banquet functions, maybe dinners or testimonials or coffee breaks. Well, when we have these sessions, right? We have these sessions and there's a constant refill of coffee, tea, water, you know? And so picture yourself as a server who's going around from table to table. It might be 3 or 4 booths, or there might be 50, 60 tables, and you're walking around with your thermos or your coffee pot, and you're sharing, more coffee, sir, more tea, sir, more coffee, sir, more tea, ma'am, more tea, ma'am, more coffee. Some will say, thank you, but not right now. Others will cover the top of their cup and say, I'm fine. Others say, yes, I'd like to have some. Somebody else might say, hey, can I have decaf instead of regular? You know, you'll find that you'll go through those things because that's part and parcel of carrying the product. So you have your coffee or you have your tea or you have your water and you're going through a room of people trying to offer replenishment or refill, and they'll say no, some will say yes, some will say not right now, some say come back later. Some want a different approach to a choice of beverage. But does the server take that personal? No. Why? Because the server's job is just to deliver and have it available if and when they are ready. That is networking. In a nutshell, that's what it is. And if you don't take the rejection personal, you can get through your day. You can get through your shift. You can get through that moment. Why? Because if you take it personal, you discourage yourself from doing the business. If you take it personal, you discourage yourself from introducing it to someone else who will do the business. You discourage yourself from being that millionaire by choice. So it's very important to develop the mindset and understanding that rejection in business is not personal. Just as a no in business only means not right now. Okay. Yesterday, on the power call, a very emotional moment happened with my colleague, business partner, and partner in Kafani Radio, on Kafani Radio West platform, Brother Dante Taylor, as moderator of the Wealth Builders Power Call. Man, Brother Christopher Chalbay from Largo, Maryland called in. And normally we're all poised and ready. We want to hear all the packages, all the accolades that he has to share about this wonderful opportunity. And then he urges you to take it one person at a time, 1 gram at a time, and he's out. Yesterday, it was a moment. It was a moment that we all had to digest. Brother wanted to give a personal appreciation to Brother Dante Taylor. He offered it. He said, man, I'm paraphrasing, when I was laying on my deathbed, he said, and no one, while I was on that deathbed, nobody returned my call or reached out to me but you, meaning Dante Taylor. And he said he would forever be grateful for his reaching out and not giving up on his brother. Whew, man. That was so powerful and resonating throughout the call. Everybody took a moment of silence to digest what was just said and what happened. And our brother Dante was just shook to the floor, couldn't even respond. And Mr. Dalco took over that moment with commentary. And he spoke about the true family of wealth building. I really have something in my eye right now. I'm not shedding tears like I'm known to do. Okay. So he took over talking about the power of this family. Wealth builders, we are a group of networkers. We're affiliates in an opportunity known as Carabal's International. But more than that, we are a family and we conduct family business. So why do I raise this point? Because as networkers, we care, right? We care, we inform, and we excite people. That's what we do. As a result, we produce a more bonded, extended family because we are all seeking the same goals of success, peace, freedom. So you're more bonded to those that you're on the same road with, even more so many times than your biological family, because you're on the same road, you're on the same path, you're struggling in the same direction. And as a result, you learn certain things about each other. You learn the nuances of each other. The Holy Quran, which is the scripture of the Muslims, it talks about how God created us in tribes and families so that we may know one another. So when we burst forth and reach out into community with our fellow networkers, we develop a bond that almost serves as an impregnable barrier. Like you can't break it, you can't penetrate it, because the success we enjoy, not just individual success, but the success for each other, the love that we enjoy, not just the love for ourselves, but the love for each other, the peace, the contentment, and the freedom we experience by being involved with each other far exceeds what's going on in traditional, normal, perceived normal, regular family life. See, in networking, you shed your old self. Your mind shifts. You get away from that individual, and that individual becomes a part of a team. And the team has an objective, and the team moves forward in the objective, right? So Brother Hakeem said earlier in his comments, he said he struggles with this. The people in my personal world is the ones that I took personal, okay? For those of you just joining the stream, Brother Clarence Khalil, peace, my brother. Johnny Bodley, Yahur Abdul Salam, Brother Duncan, salam alaikum. Brother George Allen, my new affiliate. Oh, what's up, senior partner? And Sister Renee Gant, Brother Johnny Yaya, another partner. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so what I shared earlier, I encourage us to be a legend, be legends. Be legends, master rejection. And the first step in mastering rejection is to understand that it's not personal. Now, being in your personal circle doesn't necessarily mean that it's personal. That's what's known as the warm market. So you reach out to the warm market because these are people, Brother Hakeem, you're familiar with, right? These are people that you know, okay? And they believe they know you. See, you have the advantage. You know who you are, you know them, and you know the opportunity. They only think they know you because they base it off of their perception of what was, perception is everybody's reality, but they based it off of what they've known of you. Brother Hakeem went to school here. He worked over there. He has a family of such and such numbers. He lives down that block. He's in this neighborhood. He's from the state of, I know his parents. Okay, those are the general things. But when you step out of your comfort zone to present an opportunity to those personal people, which is known as your warm market, they don't necessarily understand the shift. It's not their job to understand the shift. But I'm going to tell you something. Personal rejection is not really personal. No means not yet in a networking business. In a propagation effort, no only means not yet. Because you were cool with them before they knew you as Hakeem, the opportunity, or Brother Ronald, peace, Brother Ronald Smith, or Brother Ronald, the opportunity, or Brother Clarence, the opportunity. You were cool with them, but the opportunity was different. So they had to process it. And in their processing it, they may not have room to absorb it right then. But I will tell you this. It's not so much the ones that agree with you right off and get moving. Many times, a good many times, it's the ones who say no, and then they get going. Okay? So understand that struggle is ordained. That's natural. You struggle to came to birth. People struggle to conceive you. You know, it's ordained. There's no way around the world of struggle. But when you struggle hard, I saw Sister Renee Gant post from the power call yesterday, a comment from Les Brown. I'll paraphrase it. He says, if you go easy now, you'll struggle harder later. If you struggle hard now, it'll be easier later. So you really want to go through rejection. Remember, it's not personal. And what else I also said in that, I gave the example of the coffee server. A server will walk a room offering to repour or replenish a beverage. And they'll either say yes, they'll either say no. They either say, I want to change that beverage, or they'll say, no, not right now. Okay? But you don't take it personal because your job is to offer the product. That's what an opportunity is. It's your job to offer the opportunity because in truth, we're all servers. But what happens when you decide to fall down on your sword? What happens when you decide, oh man, I'm going to take this rejection personal. I'm not going to do it. I quit, man. You don't understand how well you primed the pump. Because a few hours later, or maybe a couple of days later, the same person that said no to the coffee that day, a couple of days later, they'll come back to that same restaurant, that same room. Man, that coffee smells so good, but I just wasn't ready for it then. I'd like to get a cup now. Where's that wonderful server that offered it to me? That server's no longer around. Is the coffee still here? They'll take the coffee, give a magnificent tip to that server, that new relationship, and they'll move on. They'll still continue to do the business. They'll still continue to get their coffee. They'll still continue to show appreciation for the one who brought it to them. But you will be long gone and not remembered for the opportunity you shared. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you. There's not a no in this business that means absolutely no. It just means no, not now. That's all. Master it. Don't take it personal. Don't take the rejection personal. Another point. Let's look at a scenario. Let's say you talk to 10 people about this opportunity, and you're talking to these 10 people. You decide you're going to hold an event. Hey, I invite 10 people. Out of the 10 people you invite, 5 might come. Or 5 might say they're coming, and 3 show up. And you have your event, and the 3 don't join on right then. That can be really discouraging, can it? Wa alaikum salam, Brother Elijah. It can if your ego's in the way. It can be discouraging if your goal is not firmly rooted in you. It can be defeatist if you have not fed your mind with achieving the goal. See, in our world, gold is attractive. And if we understand gold as our goal to obtain, to achieve, to amass, then we attract the like. We attract people who have the same kind of energy for opportunity. But you got to feed your mind. You have to understand, if your goal is to build a business, 80% of your time has to be consumed in prospecting. The other 20%, that's just busy work. But 80% of your time has to be consumed in prospecting. What is prospecting? When you go out for gold, you mining for gold, you're checking, you're surveying land, you're looking at properties, you get your pitchfork, you're hitting the rock, you're banging the ground, you're going through the water, you're sifting through fossil and stone, looking for that unique, core, malleable 24-karat nugget, right? That's prospecting. Prospecting is when you're going out, you're not trying to choose who will choose the opportunity. There'll be a natural sorting that takes place as you reach out to people, because they'll either say no or what you got. So it's a matter of getting yourself out the way and doing the job for your business, All right. So keeping it simple will make the process easier for duplicating, and duplication will bring your success. Remember what I said, the person who poured the coffee took it personal because someone didn't want it, and they left the business altogether. That person comes back now days later looking for more coffee. The product is the coffee. The server is just an extension of the product. So that server is gone. Another one is there. That one gets the tip for providing the coffee that the person came back for. What happens in the world of prospecting? If you quit and walk away, you're walking away not just from the reward of the business, which is family, which is goal, which is success, which is peace. You're walking away from the rewards of the business and financial, and you're allowing someone else to pick up where you left off, and that formula will produce millions for him. He or she will become that legend. Here's a formula. Yeah, I'll use it. Okay. Here's a formula. This is the formula of prospecting. Type yes if you can see it. Here's the formula of prospecting, right? Okay, this is based on 100 people, or 100 contacts or touches, as I call it. 20% will respond out of 100. If you reach out for the opportunity, 20% will respond, 5% will join, and 2% will be runners, or what we call rock stars. Okay? That's what will happen. Out of 100 people, 20 will respond. 5 will join you, but 2 will be your runners and rock stars. Because see, what you have to understand is you're not looking for millions of people. You're looking for one who carries the seed to touch millions of people. And you can't determine who that one is. So first, you don't put yourself in a position where you just prospect 10 a month, 100 a month. Because what happens? You're not taking your business serious enough to accomplish your goal, so you get discouraged right away. The formula will still apply. You'll still get those 2 runners. But over the course of 30 days, if you have nothing else going, if you have no other income coming in, if you're not experiencing enough rejections to move them out the way to get to those 2, then it can defeat you. It can beat you. So you have to have the wherewithal, as Brother Patrick would say. You have to have the wherewithal by which you're a go-getter. In our world of networking, look, again, I will always be a networker. Now, when I spell networker, I spell it with a hyphen. I hyphenate the word. N-E-T dash worker. I'm working my net. I'm working my net. I'm going for a larger spool of fish. I'm going into the deeper parts of the ocean. I'm looking for the draw from the Atlantic, the draw from the Pacific, the draw from the Mediterranean. You see? The draw from the Niles or the Euphrates. I'm seeking those bodies of water. I'm not looking to fish out of my tub or a pond, though they can yield. But I am a net worker. I will always be a net worker. I will always be grateful to the Creator for giving me this wonderful opportunity known as life. And I will always thank the God for the courage and the will to share it. Why the courage? Because people think you're bedbug crazy. People will look at you and say, wait a minute, are you serious, Hakeem? Are you coming to me with this? Don't you know my pedigree? Don't you know that I'm a star? I've been on the stage for millions of people. Don't you know I'm a doctor with all kinds of degrees? Man, I'm certified, MD, PhD. I have all these honors. You see my car out there. You see my home. And look at you walking around with foot feelers you call for shoes. And you're sharing with me this? I know that person thinks he made it. But what's the difference between him and you, dear brother? The difference is he has wonderful pedigree. But his pedigree cost him $350,000 in loans. He's making $200,000 a year, maybe now, possibly. But he's still paying off student loan debt. And he didn't start out with $200,000 on the year. Wait a minute. That fine car that he showed off to you, it carries a note. Wait, that fine home that he lives in carries a note. Now, the only thing that might be paid in his possession are the clothes that he's wearing, but everything else is still a work in progress. I'm not knocking the pedigree. Everybody, every society needs doctors, lawyers. You need skilled, trained, professional people. There's no doubt about that. But see, in the world of networking, having opportunity allows us to abandon the superfluous, the superficial things. Okay? Because in the world of wealth building, which we're a part of in networking, we learn how to amass and leverage our incomes. We learned how to amass and leverage the possibilities and stretch the currency that's available to us. That's what we do. You see? So when people reject, what brings them back? And sometimes maybe not back to you because you didn't understand that the rejection wasn't personal. It'll be circumstances that bring them back. Suppose that brick and mortar business burns down and there's no more revenue for them. Suppose something happens within that job and your license is revoked. Suppose something happens where another economic crash comes and you can no longer provide the services or the goods for money that is no longer any value to you. Circumstances, they do come. All right. It might be a life change. Someone in the household may have transitioned, or a job might have been lost, or a birth is on the way, or a divorce is pending. It could be a myriad of things. It could be many things that does affect your decision making, your thought process. I'll tell you right now what a lot of it involves. Some of it involves the people who have saved all their money in this gamble called 401k, in Roth, in co, in IRAs and different retirement funds. They all have fancy titles. They come with a lot of prestige, the title, because there's so much prestige put on it in the commercializing of it. But what happens when you see that your 150,000 has now turned into 90,000 or 60,000, and you still have 13, 14, 15 years left before you retire, you have no guarantee that that remaining money will remain there or be there. Because, Brother Finance, boy, we can't wait to get to Memphis. Woo! Memphis, if your partner Georgia terminology, is going to be crunk to death, y'all. Y'all need to get to Memphis. All roads lead to Memphis tomorrow. We will be at the Encore Cafe, 726 North Parkway in Memphis, Tennessee. Doors open at 12:15 for the registration process, and 1 p.m. it is on and popping. I'll be there with Brother Finance, Sister Yolanda's baby girl Candace, their whole team, and we'll be graced with the presence of CEO and founder of Wealth Builders Worldwide, Mr. Tyrone Best. Woo! I heard on the empowerment call those that intend to come, and I'm telling you, it's going to be an awesome, awesome experience. I'm looking forward to it. I'll have pen, paper, pad, and notes. I'm telling you, it's going to be on and popping. On and popping. All right. Hey, Brother Demetrius, ready for revolution. Assalamu alaikum, dear brother. How you doing down there in the world of Tampa, I was going to say Tampa, PA, Tampa, Florida. Okay, so circumstances, life changes. And Brother Finance, that was a beautiful feed of you and the missus. I got to see it when I returned this morning to Georgia. It was an awesome feed. Brother Carlito, Calfani Radio. Assalamu alaikum, soldier. All right, so when you take your time with the formula, taking your time with the formula produces a lapse in its progress. So you have to absolutely go after your goals with fire, with momentum, and the momentum only increases as your success level grows. All right, so let's approach this with a tremendous level of sobriety, and let's understand this. Number one, you need to master rejection in order to be a legend. You want to be a legend in the world of networking. You want to be a legend in the world of humanity. Because when this opportunity hits, as it will, you want to be known for being a part of Karatbars. You want to be known for Karatbars International. You want to be known for the ability to provide the hedge against inflation. You want to be known for being that person that can help you secure the roof with your own economy in your own home. You want to be known to be that person. So you talk to everybody. You spare no one. You have to take massive action with whatever time you give it. If you're working a business part-time, you have to touch anywhere from 10 to 30 people a day. You have to contact at least 10 to 30 people a day in order for you to yield to the results in that part-time activity. Okay, you have to. If you're full-time with it, well, you know the rules. You go for it. You remember the formula. The formula. I'm trying to get it right on this screen. Am I doing this right? The formula. You base it on 100 people. What happens when you turn it to 200 people or 300 people? Let's look at that. If you're basing it on 100 people and 20 respond, if you base it on 200 people, 40% will respond. If you base it on 300 people, 60% will respond. If you base it on 400 people, 80 will respond. The numbers will exponentiate. Okay? So when you base it on the 100, for every 100 people, 20 will respond. But if you base it on 200 people, 40 will respond. If you base it on 300 people, 60 people will respond. If you base it on 400 people, 80 people will respond. If you base it on 500 people, 100 people will respond. And out of the 100, you'll get a 5% yield. You see? Out of the 100, 2 will join you. Out of the 500, at least 10 will join right then. And out of the 20% that did not join, they will, because they responded. And then out of those that had not responded or rejected, it only means not yet. And that 2%, they're considered the rock stars because they are runners. And they will run for you in such a way where you can sit back and live residually off of what they do. I'll give you an example that's absolute fire for us. I have a partner. That partner has been running. I mean, absolutely running. I mean, hardcore running. He's in my immediate downline. He has since talked to another gentleman who signed up with him with a vision. The vision was so large, so magnanimous, and he has so many of the tools in place by which to accomplish it. We had to do a 3-way, 4-way, darn near party call yesterday. So big ups to Bishop Ernie Sutton from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, for joining us on that call yesterday to close that deal. And now we have the potential of reaching tens and thousands of people down the road, because we know and understand that any man can count the amount of seeds in an apple, but only God can count the amount of apples within a seed. You're just looking to share the business. You're looking to pour the product. You're looking to, and you will continuously pour the product. And what accessories do you have? What keeps you fueled? Well, if you're wearing a uniform to work, you want to make sure your uniform is crisp. You want to make sure that it's ironed. You want to make sure that the shoes are shined. You want to make sure you're properly groomed. You want to get out there and make it happen. Because even in the world of culinary, people eat first with their eyes. People eat first with their eyes. Peace and power, Brother Amos. I'm looking Brother Khalid. People eat first with their eyes. If you order a delightful entree and you think you like to have the appetizer that comes along with it, and they bring the salad or the soup, what happens when you put the soup in front of somebody and a fly crawls up out of it? Or you put the salad in front of somebody and it's wilted, or a tomato is rotten. What does that do for the rest of your meal? You see, we eat with our eyes first. You get a fine steak, you're like, ooh, this is beautiful, it smells terrific. But what is that moving on the plate? Or suppose the presentation isn't nice. Suppose the presentation is sloppy. You order a fine salmon. We all love salmon in our world. We order a fine seared salmon, and all of a sudden we look at the plate, and the plate is dirty, but the food is put on the plate. Are you really that hungry to go further? See, so we eat with our eyes first. So you have to come with the proper spirit. Remember, you are the mirror for what you are attempting to attract. So when you're coming to people about an opportunity, you have to reflect that opportunity in your spirit. If you don't reflect it in your spirit, then you can't resonate with them. You can't draw them with the power of attraction, because the power of attraction is inward. It's inward. Okay, so feed your mind. I said 80%, if your goal is building a business, 80% of the work is prospecting. Walaikum salam, Brother Kyle. Man, I saw that beautiful picture of you and your son. Man, may Allah continue to bless you all. Y'all look like twins. I don't know who is older. But it's alleged in your commentary that somebody is 7 years old. So 80% of your work in building a business is prospecting for that business, dealing with the opportunity, and not taking any rejection personal. The only thing you should look for in the rejection is removing it, because the rejection serves as just a curtain that you're moving out of your way to get to the prize. You're moving it out of your way. No, not today. Thank you. No, not right now. Thank you. I'm not interested. Take care. How much does it cost? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you got a conversation. You see, you're just moving it out of the way until the response that you're looking for comes. But you can't take it personal. They're not rejecting you. They're fighting against something in themselves. They're not rejecting you. They don't know you to reject you. All right, last point. Some of us have a misunderstanding when it comes down to who you should prospect. The answer is you should prospect everybody. But in the short of it, but to be more specific, you have a warm market. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Colleen. You have a warm market and you have a cold market. Just like in the world of networking years ago, we had cold calling we were doing. We would go door to door as Muslims with the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, our Final Call newspaper, or we make cold calls on the phone and introduce an opportunity to people. It might have been trying to raise funds for an organization. It might be trying to sell a product, but that's cold calling or cold canvassing because we don't necessarily know the people. But a warm market, a warm approach are the people that you know or have some familiarity with. All right. This is always, well, not always, but generally the market we appeal to first. This is the market where we go to. We go to our friends, our relatives, our co-workers, our colleagues. We go to them with the opportunity first. And you'll find that many times you will find that you'll get better response out of the warm market as you prepare to go into the cold market. So if you master going after 30 to 40 people a day in your warm market, by the time that you get to the cold market, now you're doing 40 to 100 contacts in your cold market, but you'll already master a certain level of success and a certain level of comfort, and your comfort zones have been established in the world of net dash working. Brother Derek, how you doing, soldier? So understand that your warm market is essential. There are some people who go out here and they hit the cold market solely and only, and they enjoy a level of success. But what they've committed themselves to is making sure they're successful there. So they do it in a certain way, and they do it based off a formula that works. And they take no prisoners at it. You have to be the same about your goals if your goal is networking as a business. So be a legend. Be a legend and master rejection. Be a legend and understand that rejection is not personal. Be a legend and understand that no means not yet or not right now. Also understand that it might mean not you. You see, when you give up on an idea, give up on a goal in this opportunity, you're only making room for someone else to pick up the gift, because they're going to come. The people are going to come because our product is gold. I'm on these streams so many times a week. Sometimes I get the ghost and I'm on it 2 or 3 times a day. It's sort of rare now. We're traveling all over the country, Team Kalfani, and we're working, we're sharing with people. We're very excited about what's happening in Memphis. We're extremely excited that our leadership is coming from all over the country just to be there to hear what Brother Finance and the family there and Team Boss has to say. We're about to go into Connecticut the following week. We'll be in New Haven, Connecticut, May 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Let me share with you what's going on in Connecticut, so some of y'all can get your people to Connecticut real quick. On that Friday, the 20th of September, in New Haven, Connecticut, there's an invitation only for the leaders of Connecticut, religious leaders, government officials, civil leaders, and they're doing a private reception with Team Kafani, and we're going to offer them up close and personal strategies and techniques on how to remain or how to become solvent in their practices, how to come out of the red with their organizations and with their cities. That's a small group, a couple of hundred or so, in this private reception. It's invitation only. Then on that Saturday, we speak to the city of New Haven. And it's so powerful. I understand they changed the venue because the original one was too small. So they moved it to downtown New Haven to accommodate everybody. Then on that Sunday, Team Kafani is going to do a live launch party for all who attended throughout the weekend and all the affiliates in the area. They're going to come for the live launch of their business. Why do we work like this? Because we understand the power of networking. We understand the power that's developed in bonding as a family. Networking bond produces family greater than the personal biological family. Mandla, hey brother, ready for revolution. How you doing out there west, man? I haven't seen y'all in forever, brother. I'm gonna come out there and work on my tan. Okay, brother Raymond, assalamu alaikum, brother Derek, once again. Sister Melon de Joseph. Ça va? All right. So family, I beat my gums enough, but I do hope you understand. Sister Paulette, I do hope you understand that you need to be the legend you foresaw when you saw into this opportunity. When this opportunity of Carabal's was brought to many of you, it was the most astounding, most phenomenal thing that had ever crossed your mind, that you can hold your money and get paid to hold your own money. And you can get paid for referrals of people to do the same. Man, that's a mind blower. That you can retire your boss, that you can finance your freedom, that you can walk away and literally fire your job, that you no longer have to be in the world of just over broke or selling your time for money, but you can be free financially, free with location, and free with time. It was so mind-blowing. Okay, so why was it so difficult for you to get the next person? Because as simple as it was when it came to you, you have to give it to the next person just as simple. You have to get out of your own way. So many of us are now in Carabal's and wealth building. We're in this world 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. All right? But we amass so much information, we don't ask the fundamental question that moves people to the opportunity. We try to teach the whole opportunity and then ask the question, or we'll ask the question and teach the whole opportunity before they just look at the information themselves. And what happens is we prepared somebody for the next person because all that information discourages them from going to the simple information that you went to that made it successful for you. So we want to know, those on this line, do you look for more ways? Do you look for ways to make more money? Do you keep your financial options open? That's great. Let me get a contact for you. I want to share with you a video. It's only 3 minutes and 44 seconds. And then can I call you back in an hour or two and you just let me know what you thought about it? Simple. Simple. We're on the way, finest. We're on the way, Sister Yolanda. Sister Candace, Mr. Best is already packed and ready to go. We're packed on our end. We're just about ready to go. We'll be there in Memphis. We will be there tomorrow. The event is at 12:15. The doors open at 12:15. There's hardly any seating left, but we'll make a way where there's no way. We'll be at the Encore Cafe, 726 North Parkway in Memphis, Tennessee. We'll be there tomorrow. The doors open at 12:15. The event begins at 1 o'clock. We're going to be joined by Team Boss, the family of Team Boss. We're going to be joined by Team Audacity will be in the house. Team Now is on the way. Team Freedom will be in the house. Lord, there's so many. Team, I did mention Audacity. The Golden Visionaries will be there. Man, 726 North Parkway, Encore Cafe, 1 p.m. Yes, sir. It's going to be on and popping for real. Man, and to be in the presence of Mr. Ty Best. I mean, you don't know until you know. And once you know, you'll never not want to be in the company of that man. You always want to touch the hem of that garment. I understand Mr. Dalco will not be in Amsterdam, so who knows where he might show up tomorrow. Who knows? I'm just putting it out there in the universe. Encore Cafe, 726 North Parkway, 1 p.m. The doors open. We start registration at 12:15. It's going to be absolute fire. All right, family. May Allah bless us. Hey, Sister Son Rashida. Salam alaikum. I'll see us all on the next live stream. Peace and power.